Alright guys, and here we are on our first map for this match between Quantic Apocalypse and Znext Life, and here we have Life spawning as the red Zerg player up in the upper right part of the map. He is our only Zerg in the tournament. Can he survive today? We'll have to see. He'll have to play pretty well against the Mystery Terran down at the bottom left part of the map. There he is in the blue from the Team Quantic. It is the Quantapocalypse.
Yes, and I love the fact that we do have the Quantapocalypse.
The Quantapocalypse.
The dinosaur himself.
That's right.
But
Mystery Dinosaur Terran. Is he extinct, or is he residing somewhere in the deep jungles of some continent? Who knows?
And or Daybreak.
Or Daybreak, the deep jungles of Daybreak. We need more jungle maps, you know?
We do.
And not Crossfire.
Yes.
And
no,
not jungle based.
Please. No. In fact, the maps that have jungle in the title,
that's
right out.
We need a better jungle map.
Yes, we do. And some low players are sitting out there going, yee! But no, that's not what we're talking about.
You know, Sandshore and Mist is pretty good. That's jungle-ish, I guess. But
yeah.
I don't know.
That's true. Sandshore and Mist has a nice... I really like the tile set of Core Hall Compound as well, but I don't like playing on Core Hall Compound as much.
Core Hall Compound seems more like the lobby of like a big corporate building or something.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it personally.
I like the well, I have to take back a little bit what I said when I said I don't really enjoy playing on it. I see that in a tournament setting. I don't think it'd be the most balanced map because it's really hard to take a third. As a Protoss, I love it. 2 base attacks, go kill everything. That's pretty much my strategy. But
there you go.
Let's see here now.
You are now like a pro Protoss. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
It's a joke.
That's okay.
Well, not for every Protoss, but for most.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, maybe not most, but for some.
Well, let's see here now. Barrick's going to finish up pretty soon. That drone being so annoying, trying to pick away at that SCV. We have a little bit of a showdown here in front of the barracks as it's constructing. It looks like the drone is actually getting the first hit, but decides to move away and regen a little bit of health. Life actually, hatch firsting and then putting up gas after that, so no real surprise out of him.
And Life using an account with the name Next Jenny, apparently.
Yes. Jenny!
All right. Next Jenny.
Yes. Just waiting for Tom Hanks to run up, start crying.
Song about Jenny, where you can find her phone number.
Yes.
Made back in the 1980s, I believe it was. Was it the 70s or the 80s?
8, 6, 7, 5. No, that's the 80s. So, and I love that they actually use a non-555 number because that would just sound stupid. But then people who actually had 8675309 got called all the time. Pretty
much. And you know, somebody tries to call Next Jenny, and he's like, "You idiot! Zergs don't have phones."
It's true.
They communicate through telepathy. It's a hive mind. We don't need phones.
Where we're going, we don't need phones.
That's right. We're going to Daybreak. No phones on Daybreak.
That's true. Cell coverage is pretty bad there, I'm told.
Yeah, it's in space.
Yes.
Pretty much. So, Apocalypse going for that 1-rack expand, following that up with 2 very quick gas. So we're going to see some tech out of him. Banshees have actually been pretty popular lately in this matchup, although it could just be, you know, for a quick factory to get out some Hellions as well. Have to see what he decides to do, but he's got a couple options to go from there. And let's see, we do have gas from Znext Life as well. And there's that Zergling speed started as well, so it looks like Life is going to play a little bit safer 2-base style here. Yeah, and he pulls completely off of gas after that, not even leaving just one drone in there to eventually be able to put up some banelings or roaches or things like that. How did you do that? You selected the lings and the rocks accidentally, but it didn't follow the rocks. See, whenever I do that and I'm observing, inevitably it follows the rock, right?
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I do have to point out, I'm sorry, actually Overlord got picked off as well by the Marines. Very nice job there. So supply blocked. For Znext Life, never a fun thing at the beginning of the game, and it indeed does look like this is eventually going to be reactor at Hellions. You'll see Terrans do that quite a bit. Double gas after the 1-rack's gasless FB, just so they can get that fast as possible factory after expanding so quick. Yep. Now, what I'm really wondering about is if Life is going to go for a fast third, or if he's going to play kind of a Lenok-esque sort of 2-basey style here, where you kind of sit a long time, usually get your lair and baneling nest, sometimes even spire before taking a third. It's been pretty popular, but on a big map like this, I would think the temptation would be to make a third base, but there are a ton of Zerglings on the way. And what is this? Apocalypse is double engineering baying before putting up any other additional barracks. I like it. That's crazy talk. It's pretty insane. It's not something you see very often, and you know, Life, he just made a lot of Zerglings too. He's kind of expecting a push to come about now, a little poke, but
It's not happening. And is he just going to do like a big speedling attack here? I guess it's possible, but this is very unorthodox for his next life. Wow, here he comes.
Yeah, and he's droning up past this, so he isn't all-inning off of this. He's just trying to go after the bunker. A few of the SCVs have already fallen, and the bunker actually taking quite a bit of damage, but a number of Zerglings have gone down. One Hellion falls in addition, and it looks like the bunker is going to stay up. The rest of the Lynx just get slaughtered.
Okay, well, how many SCVs did he kill with that? He only killed 7, so that is not worth it at all. Let's take a look at the worker count right now for each player. Of course, Life is going to be a bit ahead here, but, you know, I just don't know. It certainly keeps his third safe, I will say that, but it's very unorthodox to go for that early speedling attack like that. That was interesting move by Zanex Life. Did a little bit of damage with it, I guess. Now he's going to move into Scout, but he's not going to see those engineering bays.
Yeah, this is so weird. Already putting up that armory so we can go right into 2-2, but he's going to have almost no bio units to take advantage of that for now. So obviously his macro is going into pure upgrades and being incredibly greedy. This is just kind of remarkable. I mean, if Life decided to switch into Leanox style like you talked about, or July style and just press a huge attack, I think things could get very dicey for Apocalypse.
Yeah, definitely true. And this is what Apocalypse is doing is kind of reminiscent of what we've seen Slayer's MMA do every once in a while. He does go for the double upgrades occasionally against Zerg, but it's not a very common strategy. This is just kind of one of the reasons why I call Apocalypse the mystery Terran, because he has all these unique builds that you just don't see a lot else. I think a lot of it comes from him being such a well-known ladder player. You know, he plays a lot more ladder, I think, than a lot of the other Korean pros tend to do. And builds on ladder do generally differ a little bit from common builds in big tournaments. So this is actually very interesting to watch what Apocalypse has been doing.
Well, we'll see if he allocates the resources for 2-2 as soon as possible. 1-1 did just finish up, and of course he does have the armory, so yeah, he's got the money for it. He could drop that down, but worried about other things. There we go, 2-2.
All right, and double upgrades for Life as well with the Baneling Nest, so we're going to have to see if he goes for the Spire or if he tries to go for the Infestation Pit here. Could go either way. Generally, Infestation Pit is after the double upgrades. Trying to get that surround on the Hellion. Looks like he's going to kill some of them. Yeah, he's going to get all of them. Nice surround there by his next Life.
Yeah, loses a few Lings, but certainly worth it to kill, I think, the 6 Hellions that were there. That was a huge number of Hellions. Money-wise, that's equivalent to 24 Lings, and the next Life did not lose that many. So,
well, you know, you mentioned earlier how Apocalypse is playing really greedy here as far as his tech goes, and losing things like those Hellions really does not help him in that regard. It's going to be very difficult for him to take a third anytime soon. He's not going to be able to put any pressure at all on Zanex Life. He's going to have great upgrades. Yeah, it's true, but he's just going to have so much less stuff. I think it's going to be difficult for him to actually make this work, you know, unless Life makes a big mistake or just happens to really overdrone at the wrong time.
And there are a number of barracks finished up along with a third base coming up now, but Apocalypse is not really producing that many Marines.
He will be soon.
Yes, but, you know, he's invested his economy into so many divergent paths and infrastructure and tech, et cetera, that it's... I don't know, man. This is going to be tough, especially because Life has been very, very solid through this game. Yeah, it's a pretty standard game, but of course he's going to have those well-upgraded Lings. The Infestation Pit's already halfway done. He's on 3 base plus a macro hatch. He's looking pretty good.
How much has Life seen out of Apocalypse's base? He hasn't seen a whole lot quite yet. Hasn't seen the double engineering base. He's seen multiple barracks, though, so that should give him an idea roughly about what his opponent might be going for, but you know, he's still very much in the dark here. You can see he keeps testing that front with the Zergling just to look at the army, and that right there should give him a great indicator. And he sees this army moving out with that Zergling, and that should just look laughably small to Zanex Life. That is not an army that should do any damage at all to a Zerg player. He's got to be feeling really comfortable seeing that move out.
Here's one kind of interesting thing, though, is that seeing the army did prompt him to put up some infestors before pathogen glands were far enough along for him to take advantage of that instant fungal and 75 energy when they popped out. So he's going to get those out on the ground. He's going to have to wait the 25 seconds for fungal to pop up or just use them for infested Terrans for a while.
The thing is, he doesn't even need infestors right now. He could stop this easily with just Zergling Baneling. And a big stim out of Apocalypse, stimming very early to come in here And here we go. Is this attack going to be enough to take out these Marines and Marauders? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the first round goes down right away. And now that he's dropping down those units one at a time, the Lings can get a pretty good engage. Oh, he does manage to stack a few in the back here, so the Lings are attacking in kind of a weird angle. And the Marauders are going to do quite a bit of damage to the front line of Lings. But here come the reinforcements, and bye-bye drop. The rest of that attack is gone. And it looks like they have, oh, God, just 2 seconds away from a fungal growth.
You know, Apocalypse really should have just cut his losses, picked up what he could, and gotten out of there. As it is, he just lost a ton of units. He's about 50 supply behind right now. Next Life, I can tell you, is feeling awesome right now. He's feeling completely in control of this game. He's going for Hive Tech, adding on a few more infestors and upgrades. He's going to be getting Broodlords most likely fairly soon. He may even feel that he's far enough ahead to go for Ultralisks. It is a possibility since he is going for those heavy ground upgrades here. We'll have to see what he decides. But at this point, all he really needs to do is make sure that Apocalypse doesn't get a third base, and he should have this game on lockdown.
And he does indeed pick up exactly when the Marines cleaned him up, so he should know when the third base is coming, and we'll see if that prompts any sort of action out of him. Yeah, Ling Infestor Ultra seems very likely here with those upgrades, and 3 more Infestors are getting thrown on, another 30 Lings popping out. He's over 100, and that is going to actually turn into a lot of units here very, very soon.
Oh, fungal on those units. They are not going anywhere. Don't use any Banelings, Life. I'll be upset if you do. Okay, good.
Very nice.
He did not use them. Yep, Life playing very well, and he knows he's the only Zerg in the tournament. He needs to live. Oh, I don't know if this is the best angle of engagement, but he's just got so much stuff. I don't think it matters. Nice micro by Apocalypse, though.
Yeah, Apocalypse microing to the back, but the Infestors haven't even gotten in yet, and all of this is going to get cleaned up. Apocalypse does not stand a chance. He's down by 60 supply now. This is going to ravage his supply depot wall up at the front, and rest of the bunkers are going to go down. Infested Terrans being spit on the high ground. Apocalypse has a couple of additional units, but it doesn't